Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Comedy Friend Time with me, Christian Piper. We just heard Synesthesia by Subatomic. That is our new theme song. That's shared with us via Creative Commons license. So thanks to him for giving us free music to use on the show. We're having we had a few technical problems last week. This week it's running a little more smoothly. We'll see if we can get everybody in here and have a good show for you guys. Happy Mother's Day. Let's go ahead and get started with the Tweet-a-log. For those that don't know, the Tweet-a-log is my version of the late night monologue told via my tweets. So here we go. This morning, Pope Francis canonized the first saints of his papacy, including the first ever saints from Colombia and Mexico. When asked for comment, the new saint said, "Nothing, because they are dead, and when you die, you are absorbed back into the nothingness from whence you spawned, because death is the end of everything for us all." We need some sound effects. Almost forgot. There we go. You guys like that, huh? That's what I thought. Okay, moving on. Pope Francis also canonized 800 Italian villagers who refused to convert to Islam and were beheaded as a result in the 14th century. That gives me an idea. Attention Islamic terrorists. I promise to become a Muslim if you will please just stop bombing our shit. Thank you. Scandal broke out this week when it was revealed that the IRS has been unfairly flagging Tea Party groups since as early as 2011. The GOP is obviously quite outraged, and rightfully so. The IRS shouldn't be discriminating against any kind of interest group, but it's particularly odious for the U.S. government to be turning its back on its proud tradition of classist demagoguery and covert racism. It is Mother's Day. To show my wife how much I appreciate her, I made her my special Mother's Day eggs. That means I took her eggs and I fertilized them. I was testing that joke out on my mom earlier, and I got through the setup, but before I could finish the joke, she said, "I want to try your Mother's Day eggs." So I pretended I just cooked my wife some eggs instead. Thank you, thank you. That's it for the Tweet-a-log. I think it was a successful one, by all accounts. Let's go ahead and bring in our first guest. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Very funny gentleman, Mr. Andy Gold. Hi, Andy.
Hey, that was a good Tweet-a-log.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, this is I've kind of checked out this show before. It has a couple problems.
Okay, what are those?
Listening to you is good. You're interesting. You pontificate a bit, but I like listening to you.
Thank you.
But looking at you is not the best.
Oh.
So maybe do something about having yourself in front of a camera.
That's a good point. I could just do an audio podcast, but...
Yeah. Why not?
I did notice this week how completely asymmetrical my face is. Yeah. It's like a stroke victim. It's like... Right? You see that? It's actually the other way. It goes like this.
I haven't noticed that you're asymmetrical so much as just not the best to look at.
Thanks, Andy. We can't all be Andy Golds, you know.
Oh, I'm not anything special, nah. But I'm not as bad as you.
That's true. Thanks. All right, awesome, Andy. How are you doing? Oh, we're glad to have you. We've been trying to get you on since the first episode.
Oh,
And you've
sorry.
been evading me left and right.
I know. You hit me up, you inboxed me on Facebook,
Uh-huh.
and I just couldn't think of an excuse.
This time there were no excuses.
Well, it's like, okay, he's pretty relentless. I guess I'll just do it. You're like as relentless as when I was 19, 20, and they were trying to get me to go on a mission. And after a while, I'm just going to have to talk to him about it, I guess. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
How did that go? How'd you turn them down? Just start doing heroin?
Well, I was already doing heroin.
Oh.
Yes. I told him I was, actually. Haven't you heard the story
Right.
about that? How much time you
No,
got?
no. I want to hear it.
There was a man named Brother Boone. And
Brother Boone.
Yeah, he was the cool guy that could identify with the young people.
Hmm.
So he came to pick me up and he took me to IHOP. And he slid across the table a picture of his driver's license. And he got very serious. And he said, "Look at this picture. I'm stoned in this picture." And then he spent the next 5 minutes telling me stories about his hardcore misspent youth, where he would spend the weekends smoking grass and drinking brewskis.
Did he use those terms?
Yes.
I used to smoke grass,
And drink
which you kids are
brewskis.
calling the weed.
And he said to me, if some mixed up punk like me could get my stuff together and go on a mission, then a smart kid like you should have no problem, Andy. So I'm like, okay, Brother Boone's a guy I can be honest with. So I said, yeah, here's the thing. I'm addicted to heroin. I have been for a while. There's no end in sight. I used right before you came to pick me up. I've found everything I owned. I'll use when you drop me off. My mom cries herself to sleep every night. And my life is a hopeless pit of despair from which there is no escape. But I'm glad you shared with me your story of the time you spent smoking grass and drinking brewskis.
That's awesome. That's a nice little trump card to have, honestly.
Yeah. But, he meant well. And then he was just like, all right. He didn't.
I bet they stopped hassling you to go on a mission there.
Yeah, they had different different concerns after that.
Well, awesome. Well, that kind of segues into, today's Mother's Day. I was thinking that since I was going to have you on the show that you might have something you wanted to say about your mom. Because, as a recovering addict, you put her through a lot. And as a comedian, you're putting her through even more. So, how does your mom feel about your career?
She cries a lot. My mom cries a lot. No, she's fine with it. She's happy about it, man. She knows I'm doing what I love and doing something that I think I'm good at, So,
Yeah, I know you think that.
yeah. My mom, I do think it. You noticed that wasn't accidental when I threw that in there.
Right.
You wanted me to tell you a story about her, right?
I did. That would be great if you have a good one.
I was thinking about most of the funny stories I have are about my dad, but I did think of a pretty good one about my mom. A while ago, back home, the family went out for cheeseburgers, and we were sitting in the restaurant, and this lady came by to scrub the table next to us. And she had some sort of deformation on her face, where the brow and the nose were really weird. And she had a lot of very big freckles that could better be described as spots. And my brother leaned in and said to me, Andy, look at the bus girl. She looks like something from Star Trek. And of course I started laughing really loud. And my mom says, you guys, that's mean, be quiet. And then my dad says, what did they say? And my mom says, they said the bus girl looks like something from Star Trek. And my dad said, what? And then my mom said, louder, they're making fun of the bus girl because she looks like something from Star Trek. And the bus girl heard my mom say that. And then my mom looked over at her and said, I'm so sorry. It's my sons that think that, not me.
I raised a couple of assholes. That's all that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty great. She felt so bad it ruined her night. Yeah.
That's awesome. Reminds me of the time my mom, when we were little, she took us all to a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Like she had to take what it was. She had to take this lady from church to a funeral of her daughter. Like her daughter died, and so my mom was driving her to the funeral. And she was like old and weird and stinky and toothless, you know, like a normal Kentuckian. And so she went to pick her up, and when she picked her up, my little brother Andrew was in the car, and he just was like, "You stink," to this lady. It's like, she smells bad. Like, just to this lady who's on her way to her daughter's funeral, like the worst day possible of her whole life. And my brother is calling her out for her smell. And then he jumped out of the car and started running around it, and he wouldn't get back in the car because she smelled too bad. And that lady... And I'm in the car. My mom's chasing my brother around the car, trying to get him to get into the car. And I'm just sitting, and then the lady's just sitting there in the front seat, just like, she was moving her mouth around like this because she didn't have any teeth. She was like, just listening to a little boy tell her she stinks and having my mom chase him around the car.
That's amazing. You know what's sad?
What's
it's
that?
A sad fact of life is that the misfortune of others can be really funny. And you don't want to laugh at it because you want to be like decent and good. But here we are telling these stories, and for some reason, her going through that terrible pain after her daughter died and your brother calling her stinky is really funny. It shouldn't be. You don't want it to be, but it definitely is. That bus girl, she goes through her whole life looking like some Ripley's Believe It or Not, just, you know, outcast. Her life is hell. It's hell. And I don't want that to be funny to me, but it really is so funny to me.
That's awesome. Andy, thank you so much for doing the show, man.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Are you going to stick around, or do you need to go?
I can stick around, dude. I'm not.
All right, good.
Fun.
All right, well, let's go ahead and bring in now our next guest. This is my little brother who we were just talking about. Welcome to the show, Andrew Piper. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
I'm great.
Do you remember you telling that lady she stunk?
I remember it a little differently, first of all.
How do you remember it?
I remember the fact that what scared me, as I remember it, was the fact that she was moving her mouth like that.
Oh, so she was moving her mouth like that.
That's all I remember, yeah. And I remember that was one of the few occasions where Mom spanked me. Was when I would.
Oh, so she caught you and spanked you.
Yeah. I'm the all-time record in the family for time spanked for all the children. There are multiple other children that have never been spanked, but I'm the highest of all.
That's a pretty justifiable spanking.
I agree, but I was running around the car. As I remember it, I think my mom. Yeah, my mom wanted to get her on time to the funeral, and that's all I remember. I don't remember telling her she stunk. I just remember running around the car and not wanting to get in the car with this crazy woman that was moving around.
I don't blame you for what you did.
Andy still does that. He's
Yes.
27.
28.
28.
Yeah, that's like
This is a good guess.
one of my earliest memories is getting spanked by mom at that occasion.
When else did Mom spank you?
I cut a power cord to Christmas lights with scissors, and she spanked me for that. What else?
See, that's a victimless crime. I don't know why she spanked you there.
I think she was trying to impress upon me the seriousness of cutting cords, but it had a plastic handle. That's the way I saw it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if you do it, you die, and then one less kid, and it's just on you, you know?
exactly.
Well, awesome. I invited Mom to join us tonight. Andrew, do you want to check with them to see if they got that invite?
I think
Because
you
Andrew,
send them one more invite. Can you do that right now?
I just sent them one like 5 seconds ago.
You want me to call them?
So, yeah, give them a call real fast. And we'll go ahead and bring out our next guest, and we'll wrap up with you, okay, Andrew?
Sounds
So I'm
good.
going to mute you again, and you get them in here. And
Good.
then I'll bring on our other guest, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Christian.
Yeah, Andy.
I actually think if my sketches or whatever they were are done, can I dip out? I think I'm going to go to sleep.
Oh, you totally can.
Hey, man, really, thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you did great. Thanks so much for doing it. We really appreciate it.
Right.
Do you have anything you have? You probably don't have anything to plug because no one from New York watches this. But
No, I'll be doing a dozen just shitty open mics this week.
awesome.
Thanks.
What's your Twitter handle, Andy?
At Andy A. Gold.
Andy A. Gold. So follow Andy. Really funny guy. He's in New York City, making it in the Big Apple. Proud of you, man.
Take care, man. We'll see you.
All right. We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So let's bring out our next guest. He's going to do a short set of stand-up comedy for us. Very funny gentleman, Mr. Michael Schooley.
Hi, everybody. I am Michael Schooley. Do you want me to just jump into it?
Yes.
Thanks. All right, cool. So, a centaur walks into a bar. The bartender says to him, "Why the regular-sized face?" One double standard I don't think is very fair is when an actor portrays a retarded person, they win an Oscar. They get an Academy Award. But when I do it, they ask me to leave the dinosaur museum. It doesn't seem fair to me. So if you have a ponytail, the absolute best tattoo you could possibly get would just be a pony's anus on the back of your neck. It's super accurate. So my wife was starting to gain some weight. She was starting to get fat, and like a good husband, I made sure to tell her. Thank you. Made sure to point it out whenever possible, and make fun of her about it as much as I could. And some women will do anything to lose weight, and I learned that when she had finally had enough, and she finally just pushed an 8-pound child out of her uterus. Happy Mother's Day to my wife while I'm here. Have you ever seen a clown pregnancy? A clown pregnancy is just like a regular pregnancy, right up until the end, and then 30 tiny clown babies come pouring out of one vagina. And I am inside of a Wendy's doing this because they have Wi-Fi, so I just loudly said vagina in a Wendy's. So, thanks. A centaur walks into a bar. The bartender is not surprised, for they are in Urdok, the land of centaurs. The bartender is also a centaur. So I was in Walmart a couple weeks ago, and I was trying to buy some olive oil. And they had virgin olive oil, and they had extra virgin olive oil. They just didn't have the really slutty olive oil that I was looking for. Also, I passed a product called, I saw Head & Shoulders. And I think it's about time Head & Shoulders came out with a body wash called Knees and Toes. It just makes sense. How has that not happened yet?
I should have
maybe
given
a line
you
of
one of
cosmetics. Oh, I know. Maybe a line of cosmetics called Eyes, Ears, Mouth, and Nose. It just makes sense. Also pass them I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. I Can't Believe It's Not Butter has a spray now. You can just take the spray bottle and just mist it right onto your toast. At this point, it's getting pretty easy to believe it's not butter, I think. And I think they should definitely do some spin-offs. I mean, it's a popular product. They should start maybe easy with, like, I Can't Believe It's Not Peanut Butter. They could branch out to, I Can't Believe It's Not Tuna Fish. It's not tuna fish. You don't know what it is, but it tastes just like tuna fish. And finally, I think a good one would be, I Can't Believe It's Not Birth Control. You take a pill every day, and somehow you still get pregnant. I can't believe it. My neighbor's horse gave birth to a centaur last week. Continuing with the centaur theme. And, you know, I was as surprised as you guys are, because I wore a condom every time I had sex with my neighbor's horse. Oh, man. No Winnie's employees have said anything to me yet, so I'm going to keep going. Last joke. I think that a baby is the opposite of a Polaroid picture, because if you shake a Polaroid picture, it helps with its development. And I think that'll be it for me. That's my last joke. My name is Michael Schooley. Thanks for having me on here, Christian. And thank
Awesome,
you to
Michael. That was fantastic.
Thanks. Thanks to the people of
people-
Wendy's for leaving me alone.
Are people looking at you weird?
No, I'm actually kind of like behind a wall from all the employees. I can't see anybody. But
Well, I love it. That was awesome.
thank you.
Stick around. Stick around. We're gonna now try and bring my brother back on for the rest of his segment, and then we'll let you plug some stuff before the end of the show. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Andrew, welcome back.
That's kind of pretty.
Any other questions, guys, before we wrap this show up?
I think this conversation violates the terms and conditions of Wendy's Wi-Fi.
Marty, you have anything before I say goodbye to you?
Well, is this supposed to be like your Mark Maron, Todd Glass moment? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, kind of. I was hoping you'd make a bigger deal out of this. It's kind of a big deal.
What am I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
I don't know. Just say goodbye. We love you, Marty.
I'm not shocked about the molesting part. I'm more shocked about like both of you being gay. Like I thought it was just for sex.
Excellent. Do you have anything to plug, Marty?
No.
All right.
Sounds like
see ya.
you do.
Marty Archibald on Twitter, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Good one, Michael. All right, follow Marty. He's going to keep popping into our show from time to time. But we're going to say goodnight to him now. See you, Marty.
See ya.
Bye.
Michael,
Yes.
great job tonight. I really enjoyed your stand-up.
Thank you.
Sorry
You
we
too. It's
upstaged
been a good
with our
show.
announcement.
Oh, that's okay. I don't have
But
anything
it
big
is
to
Mother's
announce.
Day. So
Right.
you have to do the part that like really is going to mean a lot to our mom last.
Of course, that's okay.
What about your
I'm
mom,
accepting
Michael? What's your mom like?
that. My mom is just really nice.
She hot?
Yeah. Yeah, she's
Cool.
pretty hot.
Cool. Nice. All right.
My dad has
Well,
got
Michael-
good taste in women. Let's just say that.
Well, awesome. Well, happy Mother's Day to Mrs. Schooley. And happy Mother's Day to you, buddy.
Thanks. It's been a good one. It's been a above par Mother's Day for me, I guess.
Do you have anything to plug, sir?
Not really. I'm on Twitter at Mike is a joke. I'm on Vine. I've been making a lot of Vine videos. Same thing. Mike is a joke.
You're very funny. Some of my favorite Vine
Thank
videos still are yours, so
Thank you. Thank
keep
you.
up the good work.
I think that's
All right,
about it.
Mike is a joke.
Yeah,
Mike
Mike
is a joke. All right, thanks, Mike
Everywhere.
Cooley. Hang out. I'm going to mute you. Hang out, and we'll talk after the show.
Sounds good.
Andrew, brother,
What's up?
I love you.
Love you too.
I'll see you tonight.
Yeah. I have a question for you though.
Yes, what's up?
See, I've always been the one that smooths over things whenever you offend Mom with your comedy. Who's gonna do it now that I've been involved with it? That's my
I
question.
don't know. Well, I really don't know. You're going to have to find a smoother over now that you're being used as mine.
I'm doomed.
Yeah. Well, Andrew, thanks for being my good-looking younger brother.
Thank
Happy
you.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to you too.
Thanks. We
Yeah.
are kind of like mothers to each other.
Yeah.
Anything to plug? Anything you want people to know about or care about?
No.
All right. Love you, brother.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye. Well, guys, happy Mother's Day. This was an exciting show. Lots of fascinating things came out, and I hope you all enjoyed it. This is, as always, a weekly show. You can tune in next week. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and you never miss an episode. You can watch them live every Sunday night at 9-ish p.m. Mountain Time, or you can watch them archived on YouTube after the fact. So the subscribe link is right here. So subscribe to that. I'll put it up there here in a minute. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Next week, we're going to have another great show. We're going to try and get Jay Whitaker one last time to be on the show. We're going to go to great ends to have him be on the show when technical difficulties have interfered the last 2 times. And we're going to try one more time with Mr. Bimo Lejour, 5-time Jeopardy champion. So it should be pretty exciting. As always, I'm Christian Piper. This is my show, Sunday Night Comedy Friend Time. Thanks so much for watching. I love you.